Hi there everybody, it's Linnea for icrafter, and today I am introducing to you the Stitched Rainbow die set. So I will be using this die set and showing you a completed card. There are two sentiments, a thanks and a hello, included in the Stitched Rainbow die set, as well as 3 arcs of a rainbow. So I'm going to take a piece of heavyweight white cardstock and I'm going to cut each of these arcs of the rainbow twice. As always, I am using my iMend self-mending cutting deck. I love the way that dies cut with the self-mending cutting deck. You don't hear any of that crazy cracking that you would with a regular cutting plate. So I'm just going to run these through and you're going to see how easily these pop out. I did tape all of my dies together just so they wouldn't move around, but that totally doesn't matter. You can see there are little notches on the sides of these rainbow arcs, and then at the bottom there are little kind of rectangular slits, and those will come into play later on. I cut each arc twice. I'm going to be doing some wrapping with some thread around these, and I wanted to have a stable piece of cardstock. You don't have to do this. This is an optional step, but I found that having a sturdy base helped a ton for my project. So I'm taking liquid adhesive and I am adhering both die cut pieces together, making sure to line up those holes and the notches on the side. Now here's where we're going to get into the wrapping of the rainbow bows. You're going to need a few colors of embroidery floss. I chose to go traditional rainbow colors, so I'm going to be doing a pink, a yellow, and a blue. But I think it would be really cool to kind of start with one color and gradually fade into the next. Now there are notches on the side here, and they are guidelines for when you're wrapping your floss. For this largest arc here, you're going to need about 3 skeins of floss, and all I'm doing is going around and around, putting this floss into each of the notches. I look a little jaggedy here, and that is only because I am pulling that thread taut. I don't want there to be any slack. If you want kind of a looser design, you could hold your thread a little bit slack, but I wanted it to be a tight wrap. My biggest trick and my biggest tip I can give to you is to go slow and just follow those guide notches. And you're going to see there's spaces in between. So once I get to the opposite end of my rainbow arc, I'm going to come back. I'm sorry I'm a little out of frame, but this is just me coming back and filling in those empty areas. So instead of going into the depressed notches, I'm kind of resting my ribbon on top of the raised notches, and that's going to fill in my rainbow arc. So if you use the notches, you're going to want to go down and back, but on my second arc, I'm going to show you how you can wrap your thread and just make sure that it's butting up against each other as you go. So whichever way you do it, it took about the same amount of time. It's just personal preference. But it did take about 3 skeins of my floss to go and completely fill in that largest arc, about 2 for my medium arc, and then 1 for my smallest. So here I'm going to show you again. I taped the start of my floss to the back of my arc. Don't even worry about that being seen, because as we wrap, it's going to cover it up. And here you can see is where I'm just focusing on butting up that floss right next to each other as I wrap. I still ended up coming back across a second time on this one just to fill in any areas that I may have missed, and here you go. Look at this nice thick wrapped rainbow arcs. Now you see those little kind of notches in the bottom? Those are there so you can add some fun tassels. So I have some thicker white, it's not quite yarn, but it's definitely thicker than floss, and I looped it up so that I have about a 6 or 8 ply here, and all I'm going to do is add a simple knot. Now take my advice, don't yank on this knot, because remember, we just cut this from paper. The first time I did this, I completely tore off that bottom notch of my paper, and I had to do this again. So tighten your knot gently, definitely hold it, and then I just nested those bows together and cut all the tassels to the same length. I added a die cut hello from the Stitched Rainbow die set, and this project is finished. I love how it completely fills up the front of an A2 sized card. There are many ways to use the stitched rainbow die set, from wrapping with floss like you see here. You could wrap with ribbon or anything else in your craft room, and we can't wait to see what you make with the stitched rainbow die set. Head to the icrafter website for more inspiration using this die set and others from the icrafter store. Thanks for watching. Bye.